Hi, my name is Innocentia Hooks, and I'm bringing you part two of my special video vlog on the software company Zone. And I just want to give a very quick review before I get into this new topic. Once again, Zones was a very fast growing company. They started in 1988. In the 90s, they experienced enormous growth, becoming one of the top ranked companies in the world, generating millions of dollars selling the top brands in hardware and software. When the president decided that he was going to make a change in the marketing campaign from just selling to normal people like you or I to a more corporate base, the revenues soared even higher than before. And 20 plus years later, Zones is a billion dollar company. Zones is at the top of their game. However, being at the top of your game is also granted with many expectations as well as challenges, and Zone Software Company has definitely had their share of those challenges and has to come and meet those challenges to stay on the top of their competitors and also to rise above of the competition. There are many challenges that this company face, or any company in general, when you're talking about trying to move around and expand in the market, in the business world. Um, Zone, however, has their own set of unique challenges to face when trying to expand in a global market. Just a quick review of what those challenges are. The first one is the ability to show that devices are safe in the economics of information and finding the value of consumer data. The second of those challenges are their ability to provide software to the growing massive of mobile workplaces. The third one, which is wanting to grow as an international business, but realizing that the government has a few rules and regulations in place that attempt to stand in the way of that growth in the marketplace. And finally, the last one, the one that I'm going to be talking about in this video clip in particular, is that Zones, they want to realize leadership team that has far more women in it than it does right now, which brings me to my actual case study. What I'm going to be doing or attempting to do is to actually develop a plan that will increase the number of women that are in the leadership roles at Zones Inc. for, say, like the next 20 years. But in order to do that, first one has to understand the problem. And the problem is that although there's basically like women in the workplace in general are slowly on the rise, and we are getting more opportunities and able to make some of the wages, or being able to make the same wage as men do in the workplace, there is still fields and still careers that we aren't allowed in because they're male dominated, and the industry of software engineering or software and hardware production is one of those areas. um, Zone wants and needs a leadership team that realizes the real world demographics and realizes the fact that we're in a world, we're living, we're breathing, and we're not all men. So the company should represent that. Um, the cold hard truth about Zone is that they have well over 1,400 employees on their team, and of that 1,400 employees on their team, there's only a very, very, very small amount of women that are in leadership roles, and this is very, very depressing. It's only at 2%, which are women in the leadership field or in leadership roles in the company. This means that the rest of the leadership roles, which are 98% to be exact, are held by men. Now, if this doesn't scream male dominated, then I don't know what does. And Of course, the for right now, it seems like the role of women in the software and hardware field are very small, like that. But there are changes and findings that are coming out and saying that there is going to be change and there is a shift in the playing field. And that shift is the development of women as leaders in this male dominated industry. One initiative to help an era of change is the launch of a support group for the American Leadership Foundation and the London School of Economics. An executive in technology and a leader in the positions of Facebook, Google, and the U.S. Treasury, Sheryl Sandberg, who is female. She created the term lean in, and she uses this term in her book, which is the first book that she wrote, that is titled Women, Work, and the Will to Lead. And what the book basically talks about is the development of women in leadership roles and what they deal with just on a day-to-day basis as they go to work. Um, Cheryl is very, very into this, I guess you could call it feminist movement, where she says that both business and society definitely plays a part in preventing women from wanting to take these leadership roles in these male dominated jobs per se. And she also says that an equal world is a world that women actually runs half of these companies and half of these countries that we have, and as well as the men running half of our kitchen, since they always want to say that women belong in the kitchen cooking and taking care of the house. Well, that's not always equal, so to speak. But at any rate, we all know that I keep reiterating this fact of there's more men in the company, and IT itself is a very dominated field in the industry, with only a small exception is that there are a few women sprinkled here and there, like pepper in a salt shaker, in the human resources and in the purchasing and logistics departments. With that being said, they want to try to make it seem like women generally work in the software, which is considered the soft area, whereas men work in the hardware division, which is considered the hard area of the business. Um, Now that I've kind of laid out the foundation to the problem, I would like to talk about a plan for the solution. And the plan for the solution I have is a 5-step plan, or 5-step plan, and I call it a strategy for change. And in this, I have 5 steps, and they are listed behind me or on my screen. And the first one that we're going to take a look at is to implement a reverse mentoring program. And this is more like a sponsorship than mentoring, because what you're going to do is you're going to actually find talented women that are already in leadership roles, whether it be managers, directors of a department, of just things like that. And you're going to pair them up with another talented woman that maybe kind of skittish about being in leadership but has the talent to do it. And what she's going to do is she's going to advise her and kind of mold her and help her come into herself and get confident, because a lot of it is about confidence in this male dominated world. And to see that someone else can do it and they think that I'm able to do it too makes it more easier and makes us get confident so we can get promoted into it and feel comfortable with it and get into this male dominated industry. The second step is encouraging self-care. They want us to look good. They want us to be a certain size. They want us to be able to look good in the clothes that we wear. So if this is the case, then especially these multi-million dollar companies, they should definitely have like some kind of center where the women can balance this work life type thing situation, where They can be on actually on the facilities, and they can work out. When things get a little hard, they can have little facials and have little massages, and even the men can come too if that's what they want to do. And it just makes it a little more easier and a little easier to keep ourselves up. And they don't even have to leave the workplace. Just take a few minutes and kind of just woosah, and everything gets back to normal, and women can continue the day as well as the men. The third step is offer more flexible schedules, which I think some companies are doing this step already. Cause like in a situation, not even just women having children. I mean, men have kids and family too, and they want to get that work balance, lifestyle thing, balancing work and balancing the life at home. So with this, they should, let's say for example, they offer something like 14 days out of a quarter of remote work or working from home, and that equals up to approximately 56 hours a year. And this is great because they can be at home when the kids are sick, or if they're taking care of their parents or another immediate loved one in the family, or even if they have to focus on a special project. It shows that the company does have faith in them, that they can get the job done even when they're not in the office. My fourth step is to create an inducive culture. I hope I'm saying that word correctly. Founders typically need to lead by example and model their leadership practices that align with the desired culture that they're trying to attract. Uh, Wanting to build a culture will lead to a work culture by default, one that emerges based on decisions that may not align with what the founder intended. The early years of a company are ideal for this. It's perfect for this because this time perfect is the time when you want to hire a woman into these key roles that are male dominated, as they say now. This pretty much sets the tone for gender equality, like from the get go, from the beginning, and to success. And my final step, it really kind of piggybacks off of that idea, is that not to use gender based programs to just draw in the female demographic that you want to work for you, because those programs, although it seems nice and sweet on the outside, really they don't do much to change the fact in the matter that it's still male dominated. What these programs really do, it kind of just makes the women feel comfortable that are in the workplace, to make it seem like something's being done, and the men, it makes them feel good like they're doing something about gender inequality, when in actuality it's kind of more like a placebo, like taking a sugar pill, um, when you thinking something's going to change, but it's really not. Really, when you want to change, you got to change the mindset. It got to change. It starts with the leadership, and it trickles down to the employees. Um, if the one that's higher up on the hierarchy, if he doesn't believe, or he or she doesn't believe that there should be women in roles and leadership positions at their company or their business firm, what have you, then they're not going to be there. And because people know when something is real, when somebody really just saying something just to say it because they know that people expect them to, instead of saying it because they really believe in their heart that they want to diversify their workplace and make their office a better place for everyone. Um, in closing remarks, I want to say that if you want the best talent, you need to focus on the best talent for the job, maximize the potential of everyone in your business or organization, and realize that women are 50% of that potential. Thank you. This has been a Signature Style production, and stay tuned for more vlogs.